What's good, everybody? It's the Clown with Cap Show. We got college football week 10. Really some big games. Yes, we got some Pac-12 coming back. It's good to see these conferences come back. It's good to see the MAC back in style. Obviously, Ball State losing. My hometown team sucks. Obviously, Ball State hasn't been good in so long. But obviously, the biggest game yet is Notre Dame versus Clemson. And this is the game Notre Dame and Brian Kelly, all their troops, they got to win this game. There's no excuse for Notre Dame right now. Trevor Lawrence is not playing for Clemson due to COVID, so he's probably out another week or so. So to me, this is prime time for Notre Dame. This is a must-win game because Notre Dame, they have to realize, look, if we want to go to the playoffs, we're going to have to beat Clemson twice this year. Twice! Not just once, twice. They have to beat them this weekend and obviously in the ACC Championship because we have to assume that Clemson will be in the ACC Championship. No doubt about it. It's just a matter of when. But with Trevor Lawrence being out for Clemson is a huge blow. Clemson is 5.5-point favorites. They first started when Trevor Lawrence was quarterback. They were about 14, 15-point favorites, 2 touchdowns. So to me, them losing Trevor Lawrence is huge, obviously, but still, Clemson is Clemson. The next man up, that's their mentality. Dabo Swinney, he's a champion. So to me, Notre Dame and Ian Book, this is the biggest game of his life for Ian Book. You have to win here. Ian Book, 1,225 yards passing with 7 touchdowns and 1 interception. Look, dude, it really goes through Ian Book. If Ian Book has a good game, throw some touchdown passes with 0 interceptions, I expect Notre Dame to win this game. No doubt about it, but it really boils down to the play of Ian Book. You know, how is the offensive line blocking for Ian Book? Is Ian Book forcing things? Is he forcing into bad coverages? That's really what it boils down to. And obviously the running game in Williams, he has over 105 carries this year, 600 yards and 7 touchdowns. I want to see Williams get at least 100 rushing yards this game. I think if Williams rushes for over 100 yards, maybe a couple rushing touchdowns, I think Notre Dame wins this game. No doubt about it. But like I said, Clemson is no joke, dude, to me. But I got to go Notre Dame. You know, and a lot of times when I do pick Notre Dame, I end up being wrong, but I'm going Notre Dame strictly because they're at home. This is the biggest game of their lives right now, to date. No doubt about it, and obviously, Trevor Lawrence being out for Clemson is bad, dude. It really is, and obviously, the 50.5 is the over-under. I would say go with the over on this pick. I'd say go over. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, but to me, I'm going Notre Dame and Ian Book strictly because Trevor Lawrence, the number 1 draft pick in 2021's draft, is not playing. So to me, no excuses for Brian Kelly and Notre Dame. Notre Dame, get the job done, please. Then we got Michigan versus IU. Michigan, they ended up losing to Michigan State last week. When is Harbaugh going to get fired? That's my next question for Michigan, especially if they lose to Ohio State once again this year. I think he should be gone, dude. I really do. I think he should be gone, but shout out to IU. Who would have thought IU would be undefeated right now? I mean, seriously, Michael Penix Jr., their quarterback, he's obviously their star player right now. He's got 408 yards with 4 touchdowns and just 1 pick. I'm telling you what, this guy's a game changer. And when he plays great, I feel like the whole team of IU football, they play great. They play the beat to his drum. So to me, Michael Penix, it really boils down to him and how good he's going to play. Michigan, Joe Milton, he's got 525 yards passing with 1 touchdown. But like I said, dude, Michigan lost to Michigan State. Therefore, their title chances are really slim to none right now. So to me, I want to see IU win. Obviously, Michigan is 3.5-point favorites, but I'm going IU at home again. I think IU could get the upset but win again. Yes, IU beat Penn State earlier, but I think they could beat Michigan. No doubt about it. 54 is the over-under. I would say go with the over on this pick. I tend to, when I say over-unders, I tend to go more overs when it comes to college football. But look, dude, I'm telling you, I don't really touch the over-unders when it comes to betting, but I'm telling you, the spread here, 3.5 Michigan, I'm going with the underdogs, baby. Let's go, IU. Then we got SMU versus Temple. SMU 17.5-point favorites, which is rightly so. Temple, dude, they don't really play anybody at all. Sam B, SMU's quarterback, he's got 2,226 yards passing with 16 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. I expect them to throw the ball and really throw it all over Temple. Bentley the fourth, he has 115 carries for 695 yards and 10 touchdowns. I expect them to utilize their running back and passing game a lot this game. Really, and I expect SMU to get the dub. 17.5 is a lot. If you think that's a little sketch, I would go money line on this pick. Go money line SMU, but I'll take the spread on this one. 62.5 is the over-under. I'll lean more towards the over, but like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if it's the under, but I'm definitely going SMU. I'll take the 17.5. Then we got Arizona versus USC. Pac-12 is back. I'm so glad. I mean, obviously dealing with COVID and where we're at as a society right now, it's been tricky, right? But I'm so glad the Pac-12's back. This is the first game between Arizona State and USC this year. First in the Pac-12. It's great, dude. It really is. And USC's 10.5-point favorites. We really don't know much of these teams yet, right? Because they haven't played. So we gotta see an eyeball test first. But I'll take USC. I'll take the favorite. Arizona State, they do play good against, obviously, in their division in the Pac-12. But to me, I'm going USC, no doubt about it. Then we got West Virginia versus Texas. Texas is 6-point favorites. It makes sense. But West Virginia, I'm telling you what, they could put up crazy numbers. And this is why I'm going with the upset right here. I picked Texas. Texas should be undefeated this year. It's really been a disappointment to me. Sam Ehlinger, he's a good quarterback, decent. 1,650 yards with 20 touchdowns. But look, dude, it's just not enough, dude. I mean, if you want to win at Texas, you have to win every single game. There's no excuses at all. You have to win every single game. Sam also has 78 carries on 284 yards. So to me, it's just like, what's it going to be? But I think Garrett, West Virginia's quarterback, I think he's a difference maker here. He's got 11 touchdowns and only 3 picks through the year, 1,690 yards passing. So I expect West Virginia to throw the ball out, and I expect this to be a shootout game. 55 is the over-under. I would say go with the over on this pick. Obviously, Texas doesn't have the best secondary. They give up a lot of points. So to me, I'm going to go with the upset pick here. This is one of my upset picks of the week, and I'm going to go West Virginia here over Texas. Then we got one of the biggest games of them all this year is Florida versus Georgia. Georgia's 3-point favorites, which they should be. They're at home. They play great at home, but this is a great rivalry, right? SEC game, classic Florida, Georgia. Kyle Trask, their quarterback, he's legit. 1,341 yards passing with 18 touchdowns and only 2 picks. So when you're throwing 18 touchdowns and only 2 picks, you're doing something right. To me, the star receiver, Kyle Pitts, for Florida, he's got 22 receptions on 355 yards and 7 touchdowns. But I look, dude, I think this is going to be a shootout game. It really boils down to who's going to have more turnovers. Is it going to be Kyle or is it going to be Stetson Bennett, Georgia's quarterback? He's got over 1,000 yards passing with 7 touchdowns and 5 picks. Z White, their running back, he's got 90 carries, over 400 yards and 6 touchdowns. Look, like I said, it really boils down to who's going to have the less turnovers in this game, and that's who's going to win. I would say I'm leaning more towards Georgia, but towards the game, I might flip-flop on that. But like I said, Florida's no joke, but I'm leaning more towards Georgia right now. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if I change it game time, but I'm leaning more towards Georgia. 52.5 is the over-under. I mean, this could be a suck bet right here. A lot of people would go the over, but I could see this being a low-scoring game, like maybe a 21-17 or even like a 28-14, somewhere around there. But I would say go with the under normally on this pick. I think it's going to be a shootout. I cannot wait. But like I said, I'm leaning more towards Georgia, the home team. Then we got Houston versus Cincinnati, dude. Who would have thought Cincinnati would be undefeated right now? Nobody, including myself. I cannot believe it. I mean, obviously the whole year's been crazy, but dude, Cincinnati undefeated? That's amazing. And it really starts with their quarterback play. Desmond Ridder, he's the difference maker. He's got 10 touchdowns and 5 interceptions on 994 yards. Look, he can scramble. He can do a lot of things, and I really think he's the heart and soul of Cincinnati right now. I'm telling you what. And then their one of their star receivers, Dox, he's got, star running backs, Dox, he's got 80 carries on 324 yards and 6 touchdowns. Dude, Cincinnati, when they hand it to Dox and mix and match, utilize the play action a lot, I think that's where what separates Cincinnati from most of the teams right now. So I'm going Cincinnati. Yes, Cincinnati's 13.5-point favorites. That makes sense. No doubt about it. You're playing at home. You're on a roll. So I do not see Houston. I mean, yes, I see them coming out out, making this competitive game. But absolutely, I'm going Cincinnati all day, every day here. No doubt about it. Then we got Kansas versus Oklahoma. Really disappointing for Kansas. They haven't even won a game yet this year. I mean, seriously, they haven't even won a game. Oklahoma, another disappointing year this year. I mean, it's either championship or bust for Oklahoma, right? I mean, if you're out here losing games, it's not enough for Oklahoma. I mean, you guys are one of the biggest programs in the country in Division One, and yet you guys are still losing these games. It doesn't make sense to me. Spencer Rattler, their quarterback for Oklahoma, he's a young kid. I'm telling you, I like him. 1,806 yards passing, 17 touchdowns, and only 5 picks. And it really starts with him. If he has a good game, Oklahoma tends to win games. And that's really what it comes down to. Jalen Daniels, the Kansas quarterback, he only has 546 yards and 2 interceptions. And they're 0-6, dude. They haven't even won, dude. They suck, dude. They're piss poor. It's trash to me, but I love Oklahoma. Oklahoma's 38-point favorites. I would not go the spread on this one. I would go money line. Oklahoma 38's just a lot, dude. 38, that's crazy. 63.5 is the over/under. I would say go with the over on this pick. The way they're talking, what the books are saying, but definitely go Oklahoma. I would go money line. I would not go 38 points on this one. Go money line Oklahoma, no doubt about it. Then we got Purdue versus Wisconsin, which is postponed. Wisconsin came out, I want to say a week or two ago. A couple players tested positive for the coronavirus, so they had to really postpone these games. And it really sucks for Wisconsin, right? I mean, seriously, the Big Ten, they're back in business, and to me, them just losing that, it's just not the same to me. It isn't, but I hope Wisconsin and Purdue, I hope they will eventually play this game later down the road, no doubt about it, and hopefully Wisconsin will get cleared of all the COVID. Then we got Oklahoma State versus Kansas State. This is a powerhouse right here. Oklahoma State is 12.5-point favorites. Makes sense. Spencer Sanders, their quarterback, he's got 5 touchdowns and 3 picks on 658 yards passing. Wallace, their star receiver, he's got 35 receptions on 588 yards and 4 touchdowns. Will Howard, the Kansas State quarterback, he's pretty nice, dude. He's got 4 touchdowns, but also 4 picks for 741 yards passing. Deuce, their star player, their star running back, he's got 70 carries, 331 yards. I mean, and he also has 50 receptions on 361 receiving yards. I mean, to me, it really boils down to Deuce, how good he's going to play in the quarterback play for Kansas State, but I don't see Kansas State winning this game. I like Oklahoma State. I think Spencer Sanders, their quarterback, I think he has a breakout game. I want to say four touchdown performance game, and I'll take Oklahoma State in this one, no doubt about it. Then we got Texas A&M versus South Carolina. Texas A&M, one of those teams that always has a good always has a good offense. They spread you out. They have a couple slot receivers, and they like to throw the ball. It's the West Coast offense here, and I like where Texas A&M's at. Kellen Mond, their quarterback, 1,244 yards passing with 12 touchdowns and only 2 picks, dude. Right there, that sums it up. 12 touchdowns, only 2 picks, and it really, that's what it is. And then we got Isaiah Spiller, their running back. He has 85 carries on 512 yards and 5 touchdowns. Dude, when Kellen and Isaiah are playing well, no one's beating Texas A&M right now. So to me, South Carolina, I get it. Their quarterback Hill, he's got 1,000+ yards passing with 5 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Kevin Harris, their star running back, he's got 93 carries on 535 yards and 8 touchdowns. But look, I don't think South Carolina gets it done here. I think Texas A&M puts up crazy numbers in this game and wins the game. I'm going Texas A&M. I'll take the 10 points. 59.5 is the over-under. I would lean more towards the over on this pick because Texas A&M, like I said, they can put up crazy points in this. So I'm going Texas A&M. Then we got Baylor versus Iowa State. Iowa State 14-point favorites. Baylor, haven't been good since RG3 days back in the day. But I'm telling you, Charlie, their quarterback, he's got 830 yards passing with 8 touchdowns and 3 picks. He can put up numbers, but I like Iowa State in this one. I like their quarterback, Brock. He's got 1,313 yards passing with 7 touchdowns and only 3 picks. I'm telling you, Brock and Hall, their running back, he's got 134 carries on 901 yards and 11 touchdowns. When they give them a ball to Hall, I'm telling you, he's a beast. I can see him playing on Sundays in the future, no doubt about it. But I like Iowa State at 14. I'll take that spread. They're at home. I think they'll play great. Now, if you don't like the 14-point spread, go money line. Go money line on this pick all day. 47.5 is the over/under. I'll go with the under, although I think that's a suck bet there. But because I've been going overs all crazy, in the past couple of weeks, but I like Iowa State in this one, no doubt about it. Then we got Rutgers versus Ohio State. Ohio State, look, dude, I'm telling you what, Justin Fields, this guy could win Heisman this year. I'm telling you what, he's got 594 yards and 6 touchdowns. He's the difference maker, and we saw him play last year against Clemson. There are other opportunities. I'm telling you what, Ohio State will be in the playoffs this year, no doubt about it. They might get into that 4th spot, maybe even the 3rd or the 2nd. I don't think they'll get a number 1 seed, but Ohio State will be in the playoffs this year. Let's expect that. I mean, I expect them to run the whole table. I expect them to beat the Michigan Wolverines the last game of the season, just like they have been in the past 5 or 6 seasons, dude. Ohio State has owned Michigan, and that brings me back to Harbaugh. How's Harbaugh still the coach at Michigan right now? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I always said, look, they should have fired him last year. They got embarrassed by Ohio State, and they just keep losing to Ohio State, and I'm thinking, well, if you're the coach for the Michigan Wolverines, you have to beat Ohio State. I mean, seriously, if you even want to go to a championship, you have to beat Ohio State, and they have failed to do that, and that's why my whole question mark on Harbaugh is, how does he have a job? That's what I'm saying, but Ohio State's legit, dude. I'm telling you, Master Teague III, their running back, he has 35 carries on 151 yards and 3 touchdowns, and Ohio State hasn't played many games yet this year, dude, and they're still putting up crazy numbers. Ohio State in this game is 38.5 point favorites. It makes sense. I would go money line on this pick. 38.5 is a lot, dude. Basically, they're saying Ohio State is up 38 for you to win the spread bet, so I would not do that. I would go money line. I feel like Rutgers can put up some points here, so to me, I'm going Ohio State. I'll go money line. Like I said, 38.5 is a lot, dude. It is a lot, but I expect Justin Fields to have a breakout day. A couple rushing touchdowns, a couple throwing touchdowns, and really blow out Rutgers and prove to us, hey, look, Ohio State is on the map, and they will be in the playoffs this year. Just a matter of when. No doubt about it. Then we got Stanford versus Oregon. Oregon 8-point favorites. 51 is the over-under. I'll go with the over. I like Oregon at home. The opening day, to me, this is the Pac-12 is back. I'm so glad. Stanford and Oregon, we really don't know much about them, right? We still have to see who they are. What are they? Do they have a better defense, offense? What's their front seven like? What is their safeties, their DB? So, to me, this is going to be an interesting game. But like I said, I'll go Oregon at home. I would say that's a safe bet. 8 points is not much, so I'll take that all day, every day. Oregon at home, but Stanford, they play Oregon traditionally good in the past, but I'm going Oregon in this one, and like I said, I'll go 51 in the over-under. I'll go with the over on this pick. And then we got BYU versus Boise State. Like I said, BYU doesn't really play many good teams, so I think BYU can obviously run their schedule and then end up, hopefully they can play like an SEC team in a bowl game or something. Make them play a big-time school to really prove to us that, hey, they are legit this year. Zach Wilson, BYU's quarterback, over 2,000 yards passing, 2,152 yards passing with 19 touchdowns and only 2 picks, dude. Crazy. Tyler Allinger, he's got 91 carries on 587 yards and 7 touchdowns. That's what these two guys right here on offense of BYU, they are dynamic, they are explosive, and they can put up crazy numbers. Boise State, Jack Sears, through 2 games, he's got 291 yards and 3 touchdowns. But look, dude, I like BYU. BYU's 4-point favorites. I like BYU away. The way they're playing, the way Zach's been throwing the ball, I expect BYU to come out and win this game and prove to us that, hey, we can't give you guys an SEC team in a bowl game in the future. So to me, I'm going BYU. Then we got the U versus NC State. The U is 10-point favorites. This could be a suck bet here. I could see NC State getting the upset here. Devin, their quarterback, he's got 890 yards with 8 touchdowns and 2 picks. This could be a scary game, but King, the U's quarterback, he's got 1,101 yards passing with 11 touchdowns and only 4 picks. And then Cameron Harris, their running back, 66 carries on 346 yards and 5 touchdowns. Look, the U, I think, yes, I will go the U, but I wouldn't be surprised if NC State gets the upset pick here. I wouldn't, but I'm going to go the U. I think 10 is a lot, so I'll go money line on the U, no doubt about it. But obviously, the biggest game is, yes, Florida versus Georgia. This is really a coin flip game this weekend. Florida, Georgia, whoever has the less turnovers is going to win this game. Then obviously the biggest game of this weekend, baby, is Notre Dame and Clemson. And I've said it before, and I'll keep saying it again for Brian Kelly. Obviously they extended his contract to 2024. To me, so this is the year I want to see Brian Kelly win us the national championship, right? Because year in and year out, we cannot win the big game. We lost to Georgia twice. We lost to Clemson. We lost to Bama in the past. When is Notre Dame going to win that that big game? When are they going to win the must-win game that we need to win? Like, seriously, it's been so long. So, to me, this is a must-win game for Notre Dame. If Notre Dame loses this game, your title hopes are gone. Brian Kelly, your season is over. The period, dude. There's no excuse. They don't have Trevor Lawrence, the number 1 draft pick. So to me, Notre Dame, you guys should clearly win this game. This is the golden opportunity for you. And it gets worse because if you guys win this game, you guys have to beat Clemson yet again in the ACC championship, dude, with Trevor Lawrence. So to me, it's a uphill battle for Brian Kelly at Notre Dame. They're gonna have to prove to me they're a battle tested and they can win. So like I said, I'm going Notre Dame, baby. It's college football. Let's go!